Another miracle sitting to my right, a marvelous human being who was told by an African-American judge that you don't matter, you don't count, and I'm going to throw your life away for a crime in which the victim received 2 stitches.
I robbed him.
And
because he owed me $7,000.
And
he had his girlfriend with him. And he had a bunch of jewelry on. He was with his girlfriend. She had a bunch of jewelry on. So I robbed him, and I took his jewelry. And his girlfriend happened to be there, and unfortunately, she got caught up in the situation.
And on a second offense,
another guy that I ran into, he also owed me some money. He owed me $7,000, and it kind of went along the same ways. Reading in between the lines and outside the margins without really going into all of the details, I robbed him because he owed me $7,000.
Did he get physically hurt?
No, he didn't get touched. Got roughed up a little bit, but...
So, with that, here's Sheldon.
Sheldon, how long have you been out for?
Going on 9 months.
You know, one of the things that's happened through all of our conversations that we've had on the show is it highlights how insanely broken the criminal justice system is. Well, Jamie, pull up that video.
Welcome to the 6 o'clock news. We begin with a shocking arrest in the Bronx. A criminal justice advocate who spent time in prison before turning his life around, now facing murder charges after body parts were discovered inside 2 apartments.
Fox 5's Linda Schmidt is live in the hybrid section of the Bronx with more on what we're learning about this suspect. Linda.
That's right, and we are learning a lot here tonight. First of all, he claimed that he had turned his life around after spending most of his adult life in prison. In fact, last year, he started working for the Queens Public Defender's Office. Well, now he is accused of killing a man and then dismembering his body. 48-year-old Sheldon Johnson of Harlem is charged with murder and concealment of a human corpse. This is Johnson recently on Joe Rogan's podcast, talking about how he had turned his life around after a life of crime. He was working with troubled youth with the Queens Public Defender's Office. The shirt he is wearing says Queens Defenders.
I got into school. I got my GED. From there, I got involved in correspondence courses. I started interacting with guys who were teaching ART, aggression replacement training, and I started to begin to understand how these concepts work, what positive visualization is, deep breathing, how to remove yourself, conflict resolution.
Well, police say Johnson's life of crime apparently was not over. He is accused of shooting 44-year-old Colin Small in the head in Small's 6th-floor apartment on Summit Avenue and then dismembering his body. Detectives combing over potential evidence again today. Inside the apartment in the High Bridge section of the Bronx, a law enforcement source says they found a man's torso and 2 feet in a plastic storage bin. Investigators also found the victim's head, legs, and 1 arm in Johnson's freezer in his apartment building in Harlem. The superintendent of the victim's apartment building saying a neighbor heard gunshots, and surveillance video tells the story.
The tenant of the apartment, he came in, he never came out. So I called police because it's suspicious.
The super providing me with these surveillance pictures inside the building that allegedly show Johnson carrying bags in and out of the apartment building the day of the murder and changing his clothes several times, as well as wearing disguises. And also tonight, a law enforcement source telling me the 2 men, the suspect and the victim, they knew each other from prison. I also reached out to the Queens Public Defender's Office, since that's where Mr. Johnson had been working, but they had no comment. Back inside to you.
Think about it for a moment and search yourself. With the court's permission, I'm going to ask Mr. Adelson to stand.
You may stand, sir.
Just take a good look at it. And if there's any part of you that looks at him and says, you know what? If I'm being honest with myself, because he's been arrested, charged, other people may have been involved, and he may have known them, that he must be guilty.